The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Hump Day! You're looking live at Tostitos Championship Sidewalk outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, where I was just notified we have a new angle, because that is where the Christmas tree will be for the Christmas extravaganza that starts at a record-breaking early time of November 17th this year. So come out and check it out. It is 50 degrees outside. The high today is 54. The low is 32.
He is Nate. That is Kurt. You are Shannon. That's Chris Beam in the back. I am Zaddy Holly. Together we make Hanging with the Boy, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel us
when we speak.
When we speak.
And each and every day we are brought to you by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Come on, Brandon Cook.
Let's go.
Feeling zaddy today, huh?
I'm feeling zaddy today.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my beard cut down yesterday, so I'm feeling. I put some good smell goods on.
Did you cut it, or you get somebody to do it?
I'm not.
You get someone else to do it?
Yeah, I get somebody to kind of line me up around the side, cut it down a little bit, make me look.
That
CJ.
hairline's starting to creep back on you, running away from your nose, isn't
Listen, that's what happens.
it? How long are you gonna hang on?
As long as I can. As long as I can.
I don't blame
Let me
you.
tell you something right now.
Me too.
When I cut my hair, I'm going to Turkey. I'm going to Turkey to get me one of them hair implant things.
Are you gonna do that?
Yeah, man. You're not gonna have me around here looking
Bring
crazy.
it back. Do the Tom Brady thing.
Someone sent my little brother sent a post to the family group chat. It was a clip of me playing college basketball. Mm-hmm. I got a steal and a layup, another deflection and stuff like that. But it panned one time, and it had the side view of me, and boy, was that hairline
down low?
Oh, I had the low cut then, my freshman year.
Uh-huh.
I said, look at that.
Fast forward 20 years.
I said, look at that hairline right there. I mean, it was it was so clean and sharp that I text the barber who used to cut my hair then in Chapel Hill. Uh-huh. I text him, what's up, C Money? I text C Money. I said, boy, you did your thing on this haircut right here. He just laughed.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. When I was young, I'm not a kid anymore.
Oh, man.
Some days I said I wish I was a kid again.
There you go. What, did you get anything else done? Just beard
just a beard and
hairline.
hairline.
Nothing with the back. You
No.
that?
That's another whole other person.
Okay,
whole other person.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm feeling. Yeah. So Kurt. Yeah, I'm feeling a little.
Well, you look good.
I feel a little zaddy. I put some cologne on.
I like the shirt.
Thank you.
Little tribute to 23.
The greatest player to ever lace him up.
Yeah, I like that.
I got the matching kicks to go with it.
Oh, look out!
You got to just make.
I
You
like
got to
it.
coordinate.
I like it.
Nate and I are coordinating today.
I see that.
I do.
Nate, did you trick or treat? Did you get some candy?
No, but Josh, the owner of the Raiders did.
Oh man!
But I mean, he went from the GM to the head coach to the OC. Now he done got the quarterback. I'm like, when is this dude gonna stop? Trick or treat, baby? Yes.
Kurt, how about you? Did you have any trick or treaters?
Yeah, a few. We don't get a lot. We did. It was a good night. I was watching.
That's what happened when you live on that acreage.
No.
All that acreage.
Hey man, let's go up to the creepy guy's house who never talks.
Going with
His
all the
dog's
kids.
always barking.
I
His
wasn't
kids are hardly, but he don't talk.
I was watching the ball game. I wasn't watching anyone.
I laughed on the way home yesterday when Kurt goes, my wife was listening in, and she told me
Not to tell you.
not to tell y'all anything. You ever been driving and like something will pop in your mind, and I laughed for like 3 exits. I just said, she is so right. You just can't tell us.
You can't.
Like, she is so right. You just can't tell us nothing
No.
because we're not gonna let you. We're gonna talk about it. We're always gonna talk about it.
Forget about there's no trust tree.
Yeah, if you don't preface something by saying, y'all don't repeat this.
Yeah.
Then it's
free game.
It's fair game. Yeah.
My own fault.
So tricks on the Cowboys fans again this year. No signings.
No signings.
I don't think any of us expected anything to happen.
I told you, Todd was on his way to lunch.
Everybody's making a huge deal out of it, though. Eagles made moves, Other teams in the NFC made moves, and
Philly made moves. Niners made moves.
Niners made a big move.
Who else? I mean, I think. Am I upset that they did not make a move? No. What does worry me is, comparatively speaking, if you're saying that the teams in the NFC that are contenders to come out of this division, right? You're thinking Philly, you're thinking Niners, you're thinking Dallas, you're thinking Detroit.
Ain't nobody in the South.
Right? Like you're thinking those guys. And then kind of like honorable mention is probably Seattle, might have been Vikings if Kirk Cousins didn't go down, right? Mm-hmm. It's already clear that you're not better than one of those teams.
Right. And you're going to find out about the other one.
The Niners, right?
Weekend.
They made a huge move.
Yeah.
They actually kind of made two moves. It may not pay dividends right now, but they did go and get Randy Gregory a couple weeks ago. Then they made the big move for Chase Young. Now, had they done nothing, had the Niners done nothing,
they're still better than you.
They were still better than you, and they were still, now in the last 3 weeks, I get it. But they was if it ended today and you had to go face the Niners, you would be on a neutral field, even at home, you would probably be the underdogs. And if they did nothing, they went and made what could potentially be, because we're still moving on potential, a huge move. Philly, who, new year, we still got to figure out what is what with that. But most would say, right now, they're the number one team in the league. Better than you. Right? Yeah. They made moves. Now, I know some are going to say, well, the Cowboys made their moves back in so-and-so.
Spring, yeah.
Back in the spring with Gilmore and with Cooks. But what you did in the spring didn't make a difference to what you needed to do against the Niners. So I'm saying all that, the long version, to say, I'm not mad that the Cowboys didn't make a move. I'm saying is the team that were already better than you, if nothing happened, made moves. Right. Where does that put you further behind the team that you most likely will have to face in order to get to at least Nate's destination, right, to the NFC Championship game?
That's right. Let's go Cowboys.
And you're going to have to beat probably both of them to get to my destination, which is the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That's the only thing that kind of gets me a little bit like, all right, cool, you don't have to make a move, but the people that were already better than you made moves.
Yeah.
To get better than what they already been, that much more above you.
Yeah.
But you believe that your team is the right team in the right place. And I get it. Like, there's always two that have to tango. Right? There's always, I think Browder said it, you got to get you might have some guys in the room that says, coaches go, I'm good. I don't need to make a trade. I like my room.
I can win with these guys.
I can win with these guys, right? So it's not just Steven and Jerry. Even though Jerry at times when he wants to make a move, makes a move, and whoever the hell doesn't like it, find somewhere else to be employed.
Would you have liked to have that 4th round pick yesterday to play with?
I would like to know, comparative to other teams in the league, how much they shake the trees. Like, do they actively go out and go, hey, we'd like to see if there's interest in moving this guy? Or if it's, I'd like to know behind the scenes, like, which teams are more active, because there's probably a lot of reaching out and, kicking the tires to see if, but how –
do the Cowboys initiate it?
Yeah, or do they just sit back and wait and go, we're good. If something falls in our lap, we'll take it. Or are they out there going –
Shorty don't know that you like her until you say something.
Right.
Right? Like,
but
okay.
Yeah.
How you doing?
But I'd like to know,
now oh, he liked me?
Yeah.
Now we got something going here. We got a little spark, a little jigsaw happening over here.
Are they doing any of that? That's what I'd like to know that for every team. I wish there was like a tracker. I wonder at some point, knowing the way that the NFL is great at creating drama and creating a show with what they've done with the draft and now what they've done with the combine, if they'll put something in place in the next 5 or 10 years around the trade deadline where you can see what all's
never going to do that.
Too much of a competitive advantage, probably.
And
you
stuff
start
that goes
pissing players off.
Because that's a deeper hole than I think they're willing to give. Because I mean, there's agents involved. Right. There's conversations involved.
And if you mention a player's name, then he gets mad and he's like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Because agents sometimes have a lot to do with trades and things like that.
Definitely has a lot to do with rumors.
A
source.
And it's always sometimes it's the play not only for today, but it's the play for tomorrow. It's the play for, I got it now. I got one guy who's looking to get moved, but don't forget, I'm also representing your best player on your team. So let's make this shake for us, and then I may be a little bit more lenient on this.
I'll be in his ear on this.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's a lot that happens behind the scenes, and I don't think teams, I don't think owners, GMs,
that's a good point.
in the league you don't want those things to come out.
Sure would be fun though.
Yeah,
my fans
to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah. All right, Nate, what you been waiting for all week? Who we got to worry about on
that Fletcher?
Who we got to worry about? Which one?
Sit back and watch
which
it
one we got to worry about the most?
You start talking about that Fletcher Cox and your mouth start watering.
He ain't heard a word we said, and we brought that up. And boy, look at those notes.
Look, boy,
you
mention that Fletcher Cox, boy, and you start salivating over there.
No. Jesse's going to always give you the details, but I'm going to tell you this right here. This team has 25 sacks in the, 7 games, 8 games they played? They're giving up 65 yards per game. They got 4 interceptions.
65 yards. Rushing yards?
Yeah, rushing. They give that up a game. It's 3.8 yards per attempt.
I didn't realize their rushing defense was that.
They got 6 fumble recoveries out of 13 tries. Their weaknesses is the pass. They give up 247. They've given up 16 TDs. But let me say this right here. Last week, we wasn't trying to run the ball. This week here, you better try to run the ball. Play action pass better be a part of what you're trying to do.
Why would you try to run the ball against a team that is only giving up 65?
Because I'm glad that you asked.
You're welcome.
Because you don't want to release number 7, Hassan Riddick, who has 6.5 sacks. You don't want to release Josh Sweat, number 94, that has 5.5 sacks. You want to make sure they stay in their pass lanes. You don't want to give them a two-way go. If you look at our tackles the last 2 or 3 games, teams have been just at least 7 or 8 times where they just get quick escapes. Mm-hmm. We're going to have to keep these guys in their lane. And like I say, Jesse will go deeper because their secondary can be had. They said, but you're going to have to set it up. You're not just going to drop back and just, do it. This is a game where if we don't have our running game in play, this is a game where Dak has to move himself around. Coach cannot let this man think that he can stand in one place. He will have to move around in order to survive this. Our running back's going to have to be at his best. Picking up blitzes because they got the dudes running around in 17 and all different numbers. I thought they was fat, overweight safeties, but these were linebackers. You notice that, Jess?
Yeah.
I'm like, these dudes, this is linebackers.
This week, if you want to know who the good guys are, all 90s.
All 90s, yes.
Everybody that win 90. Everybody that win 90s.
So
you want to establish the run so they can't just pin their ears back every
try
down,
to run.
Right? Keep them in check.
Yeah, you got to keep them in check because if you don't keep them in check, this team is good enough to like we are. Our key is this: we are built. The Cowboys are built to play from a lead. That's much I'm gonna talk about our defense. This team is built to whoop yo. I'm not joking, man. Now, Jesse, tell them everything I didn't tell them.
But how does a team that's averaging 3.9 yards a rush suddenly rush against the number one? I mean, what can they do differently to?
You got to try. I've seen teams, and I'll give you an example. 2 years ago, we I think it was a 49. It was Tampa Bay. They rushed and won a playoff game. They rushed 30 times, probably got about 95 yards. just trying to keep guys at home, trying to keep guys in their area. The worst thing you can do, man, is give a defensive end a two-way go, in and out. You know, the waggles are going to be big. The bootlegs going to be big. Dak just naturally, just being Dak, the old Dak, just moving around, going to keep these guys right. But what we can't have, this will be a game where our coach will just come in the meeting room. Tony Wise come in the meeting room. Hey, fellas, no quick escapes. You cannot let – these guys are too good. If you give them a quick escape within that first second – when that quarterback is, you know, turning his shoulders to get set, and if that guy's already there, there's no chance. So you can't have a quick escape. You asking too much from Tony. You asking too much from the other backs to be able to get up there quick enough to help you. You're going to have to make a guy work through you. So you're going to have to know your lanes as an offensive lineman. You're going to have to understand how each and every play work. And it would not hurt if the quarterback said, hey, fellas, because Troy used to do it for us. I don't know how they do it today. Hey, fellas, I need a little extra time. So whatever you got to do.
Fall down.
Be a gouge, get a hangin, you know what I'm saying? Grab a hangin, you know what I'm saying? Do whatever you got. Hey, but you get what I'm saying? Now, Jesse, give him the fine details.
I want you to define what does that mean?
You grab a hangin,
What
baby.
does that mean?
Yeah.
Does it mean what I think it means?
Yes, it does.
Man.
Let's take a break.
That ain't right.
And get Jesse on the final points.
Then we'll get Jesse involved. We'll let Jesse talk when we come back on Hanging with the Boys.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole, made with real Hass avocados, will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouth-watering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the show.
How about you, Jess? Or is it mixed?
The second segment each and every day is brought to you by blockchain.com.
baby.
Thank you, blockchain.com. Nate may have had the funniest line we've had in the 5 years of this show. How long have we been doing this show?
When did you get with us, Jess? When
How
you
long
got
have you been
with
on,
us?
Jess?
4
4?
years?
This is your fourth year?
It's 4 years for
And we
me.
did it, what, one or
One
two?
year, one year before me?
One?
Two?
Maybe it was one.
I had to go research that.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for that, Nate. I needed a good laugh to get my blood going. Yeah. All right, Jess, the moment you've been waiting for.
Break
Talk.
it all down, bro. And think before you speak.
Absolutely.
Okay.
As I go deeper.
Okay, we stop.
No. So here's the thing. Philadelphia Eagles defense, they're led by their first-year defensive coordinator, Sean Diassi. That's how you pronounce it? Diassi? I think so. Yeah, D-E-A.
His dad played with me.
Did he?
Yeah, I think his dad. Chris, look that up.
It's Ted, right?
Spelled different, I think.
Oh, it's a different. Oh, Diassi.
This dude is Indian.
Oh, no. That's me. I didn't play with his father.
Okay, then you didn't. Okay. Defensive coordinator, what they want to do, they've transitioned from a 4-3 to a 3-4. And let's just be honest, ladies and gentlemen, where their strength is at is up front. The names are there, the productivity there. One of Nate's favorite players is on that defensive front. Fletcher Cox is the lead dog. He's the veteran.
How old is he? Kurt, look him up. How long has he been in the league? Go
Hey,
ahead.
you have a what you call it right there in front of you.
Like
Don't cut Jess off, man. Let him have his feel.
He is, what is he? 32.
32 years old. Fletcher Cox, you got Jordan Davis. I'm sorry, not Jordan Davis. Jalen Carter, their all-world rookie out of Georgia. He went out last week with the back injury. They're talking about that he'll probably be able to play this week. The one thing I want people to realize, because when you go and you watch film, I watch the Jets game, I watch the Miami game, I watch all these films, and I kind of stopped myself and I had to remember one thing. And Nate, you'll probably be the only one in this room that will be able to relate to this. When you go and you watch things on film, I then remember to myself, whatever I saw in a positive way, it's going to be amped up even more because they're playing the Dallas Cowboys. Like, that is a real thing. And I've lived it. I've been a part of it. And now sitting on this side of the coin, I watch this stuff and I go, oh, yeah, we can win there. Then I go, they're going to bring extra for the Cowboys. Like, it's just, I don't know how to truly to explain it or to verbalize it. But, they're talking about Jalen Hurts. He looks banged up. He hasn't run as much. He has a bone bruise on his knee.
Not Sunday. Like, it matters, right? Like,
and he was the player of the week this past week.
Yeah.
He's a player. Yeah,
it's like the Tom Brady mentality. Like, when you played the Patriots when they were great, you always, as a fan, I'm sure it's the same way for players. You always got up a little bit more for that. You're a little bit more amped.
Right.
That means a little bit more.
Right. So when you look at what they do up front, I mean, just think about this. You got Brandon Graham.
Is he still good?
Who?
Brandon Graham.
This is how good they are up front. He has become a rotational player. Like, before, he used to be a staple in that defensive line. He's in a rotation with another good guy comes behind him and Derek Barnett. Then you got Fletcher Cox. Then you got Jordan Davis, who's in rotation with Jalen Carter. Then you got the Sweat brother. You got Josh Sweat. Now, the next guy I'm about to name, this is the guy, and we can talk about Jalen Carter. We can talk about Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham and all these guys.
Can I guess?
This is the guy who we're going to have to
block.
Number 7.
Number 7. Hassan Riddick. Nate said it earlier. They had 25 sacks on the year. Right now, Hassan Riddick has 6 of them.
What?
And the thing about Hassan Riddick is because he gets so much whatever we do. Schoonmaker, McEwen, Ferguson, do not think you're going to block him with one of those guys. You're just not. If you think you're going to have success with one of those guys trying to block Hassan Reddick one-on-one, Dak is in for a very long football game. The thing about it is, what they do defensively, they have so much depth and dudes up front that Hassan Reddick gets these one-on-one matchups. And it's the one spot that we've kind of really been struggling in. Like, people haven't talked about it because Tyron's been out. Terrence Steele hadn't been playing very well lately. Yeah. And that's going to be the matchup all day long. It's going to be Hassan Riddick. It's going to be Terrence Steele all day long. The only good thing about that, it's on Dak's front side. So a lot of times he can see it coming. But here's where it becomes very difficult out. It's because when Hassan Reddick beats you around the corner, or he creates the pressure around the corner, where do you want to go? You want to step up into the pocket, right? Well, here comes Fletcher Cox. Yeah. Here comes, Carter. Here comes Davis. That's what you're walking up into. So this is when you talk about when Nate was saying we got to try to establish the run game. It's not necessarily just so that you can. And I'm not into just running for running's sake, but it's in the realm of I can't let them do to us what we do to other people. If Hassan Reddick and company can pin their ears back and just go get our quarterback, we're in for a long day. We have to be able to at least get some sort of remnants of a running game. And the second part of that is because on the back end, you're going to see a lot of man-to-man coverage. This team, it says, we're so confident in the guys that we have up front that we're going to play man-to-man coverage on the back end. And you can beat them.
Yes, you can.
You can beat them. They just went and they did the trade a week ago and got Kevin Byard from Tennessee to help man the back end of that defense. Of course, you know about big plays. And I'm not into just running for running's sake. But that's me.
Nate's watching our show.
No, I just wanted him to say that again. I just wanted him to say that again.
Did that on purpose.
Yeah. You got Darius Slay, big play Slay out there. So a lot of times they're going to play man-to-man coverage. It's going to be a lot of single high. It's going to look like man-to-man coverage. It's going to be man-to-man coverage. It's going to be cover 3. They're going to do some different things. So the ability to win outside, this is going to be another one of those games where at the end of this game, it should read, boy, what a game for CeeDee Lamb. Another 14 targets. Because they're going to say, we trust in our front seven so much. You're not going to run on us. Right. You're not going to run big on us. And we believe that if we can just hold coverage just for a second, Hassan, Sweat, we're going to get to you. Mm-hmm. We're going to create some pressures in the middle.
With all that strength up front, they don't blitz like 18% of the time.
They don't have to blitz.
Right. So, but does that mean more guys are dropping back, making that coverage even tougher? Even
No. They're a man. So this is they're in man. They play a little bit of zone, but for the most part they're in man. And this is a lot of guys at the line of scrimmage. You talk about your 4 guys, and then your 2 or 3 linebackers. And again, you look up and you see number 17. You think it's a safety. It's actually a linebacker. It's not a safety. It's a linebacker.
You see 41. He's a linebacker.
He's a linebacker, right? Yeah. So you see these guys, and you think they're a safety, but they're actually linebackers. Yeah. So for the Cowboys, when you look at this, the way this defense is playing, very aggressive, in your face, and this is something that we struggle with. And I'll say, take that back. This is some of the stuff that we struggle with at the receiver position, minus CeeDee Lamb. The rest of the guys have struggled getting off press coverage. Being in your face, this is the physical defense. You talk about matching the physicality. This is going to be the second game that the Cowboys have faced this year where you're going to have to match a level of physicality. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with Tyron Smith. They said he wasn't going to practice until Wednesday or till tomorrow, which is weird because Thursday is when all the injuries seem to happen for the Cowboys.
I think he's only practicing 1 day a week now.
Okay. So if you don't have Tyron Smith, there's going to be a backup out there. And there's been some, even Zach Martin kind of had his share of missed opportunities last week. Same thing with Terrence Steele. So up front, it's going to be
trouble.
Not trouble, but it's going to be imperative. This group has to bring their A game. Like this week is.
You got to have one of your best offensive line games of the season.
When we come back here Monday and Kurt looks up PFF the grades, we need to have 3 or 4 guys in that PFF graded out high.
Top 10.
We have to have guys being like, oh yeah, Zach Martin graded out number 3, Terrence Steele graded out here, Tyler Smith, who's been playing well by the way, he graded out as one of the top guards in the NFL for that week. If it's not that, it can potentially be a long day.
Yeah. So back to your point. You think they got to establish the run, have some kind of running game, to keep the guys
just for honesty.
But let me add on to that, and it's not for honesty, yes, but for play action.
Yes, that's what it's
for. Play action.
That half a second that
for
freeze.
Play action. Again, if this team is going to line up and face you man to man, if I can get some play action going,
you can get some plays down the field, right?
James Bradbury is what we like to call a mouse in the house. He can be barbecue chicken. Like he's a guy. If you want to set it up right, you can pick on Bradbury. We've known him for a while, and to be honest with you, Dak has had a ton of success against the Philadelphia Eagles. right? Because for whatever reason, he gets up for these football games as well. 11 career touchdowns to 1 interception against the Philadelphia Eagles, almost 880 yards, a 79% completion percentage for Dak Prescott going against the Eagles in his career. He wins against the Eagles, right? The problem is that this is probably the best Eagles team that he's ever faced. So he's going to have to be very, very good. This is going to be another game for Dak where he has to kind of get on to that. When the opportunity presents itself, I don't have to have 100 yards rushing, but I got to go and get those third downs pickups when necessary. Because those pockets, I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, that pocket is going to collapse more often than you probably want it to throughout the course of this game. But I think if Dak is right, if he is good at what he does, if you see more of him at the line of scrimmage, if you see more of Mike McCarthy doing more of the motions, so now I can identify what is happening in front of me defensively. Now I'm able to go, okay, they did a great job. Cowboys did a great job last week on getting matchups where I can line up CD one-on-one with space. That's going to have to be impaired this week. I don't know if Darius Slay is going to travel with CD. I believe he's done some of that before in the past. I go watch some games, but I believe he did some traveling a year or so ago against CD Lamb. But even Darius Slay is up there in age too, like we don't talk about it enough, but he and Stephon Gilmore up there in the same kind of. They both 11, 12-year veterans in the league, 30-something.
He's been around.
Yeah, 30-something years old. So he's up there as well. And while he'll make a big play every now and again, he gives up big plays as well. So for him, this has to be one of those deals where the ball comes out quick, guys are winning at the line of scrimmage, and then the guys up front, those hogs up front, Nate's boys, they have to have one of their best games because this defensive front, without them, and they don't have to your point, they don't have to blitz. Yeah. They don't want to blitz. They're saying, we signed all the blitzing and dogging we need right here with guys like Brandon Graham and Derek Barnett and Fletcher Cox and Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and Josh Sweat, Hassan Riddick, and Kobe Dean and Zach Cunningham. And what they do is they have a rotation of these guys. For a large part of the year, Jalen Carter wasn't even playing the whole game. He was playing like 25 snaps. But he was coming in fresh and giving you max effort for those 25 snaps. He's gotten more and more involved, and I don't know if he's going to go on a pitch count this week with the back injury, but that's the rotation that they have. They're constantly bringing in they're not bringing in second-tier guys. Like, you're literally going from Brandon Graham to Derek Barnett, excuse me.
How do they? It almost feels like Tyron Smith is handcuffing him a little bit. You don't know if he's going to play. How do they prepare?
That's why I wasn't playing.
You just wouldn't go.
Wait. That's a great question, and that's a great answer that's about to be made. Let's take a break first, and we'll hear from Nate Newton. What are you now? He's the voice of reason. What are you?
I'm hanging.
Fanboy?
I'm hanging.
We'll come back and pick Nate up after the break.
I live in a different community.
Yeah. Don't hang with the boys.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at Wingstop.com.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
James Wright here, your 2022 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year. You know how much I love my Cowboys, and I am thrilled to be talking to you about the 2023 Fan of the Year award presented by Captain Morgan. We're looking for the ultimate Cowboys fan to spice up the game. That means you eat, sleep, and breathe the Dallas Cowboys. If that's you, or if you know someone like me, then go to DallasCowboys.com/fan of the year, and you could win tickets to Super Bowl 58 and so much more. Enter today.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the show. The last segment each and every day on Hanging with the Boys is brought to you by Jigsaw, the official dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Now that we know we're in trouble up front, it's a great question Kurt had with Tyron kind of game time decision last week, and sounds like he's not practicing this week. What was your question, Kurt?
Well, how does it handcuff them in their preparation? How do they prepare not knowing if Tyron's going to be in there or not?
By Tyron, it may sound funny, by him doing this for the last 6 years, doing this same thing, you don't know whether he's going to play. So they're accustomed to it. But what I hope is that they make a decision early enough in the week so these guys can work, so the left tackle and the left guard can work together. Because when they do, the Eagles will give you a guy over both tackles, a guy over the nose guard, two guys standing up, two linebackers standing up. They'll cover both guards. They'll cover the center. Two wide nine techniques way out there. They'll run games from any of these positions. So now you want to be able to work with the guy next to you, kind of, just, I don't know how you say it, when you just work together and know you're working together. You know what I'm saying? Without talking a lot. I don't know what that word is.
Synchronization.
Yeah, thank you.
I got you.
And so they won't have that with Tyron not being there. It's just, I love Tyron, and that's as far as that go. I love you, bro, but you ain't out there, bro. You got to practice. And I know it ain't full speed, but I'd rather have a guy that I know gonna be there, and then we know how to help this guy. Because now we ain't going to get Tyron as much help as we're going to get the other guy. But now all of a sudden, we got to kind of alter the game plan, just tweak it just a little bit because of the other guys in. I'd rather start the game out like that.
Starting with
Schumer or either Awesome. I'd rather just start the game out like that, knowing that Schoonmaker, you ain't going to catch nothing, so let's go over here and block. You know what I'm saying?
It's caught 2 balls this year.
2 balls,
One
okay.
for a touchdown.
All right.
Ball.
Okay.
Speaking of, Kurt has a great stat here about the tight ends. They are getting 20% of the targets, and Ferguson is getting 75% of those.
You need to get 80% of them.
Do they need more from the tight end position?
No, we get them all from him and throw the rest of them to Tony Pollard.
So just make him your featured tight end?
Tight end and throw the rest of them to Tony Pollard.
How's he doing in the blocking game?
He's good, but teams has been –
You know what's funny?
He'll get in the way, bro.
Yeah, Nate's comment in the break.
That's
2 breaks ago.
Boy, that's the one I'll be driving.
You know what's great about
and laugh.
You know what's great about Nate?
As I pull into my neighborhood.
Yeah,
I'm like, Nate was right.
When you forget about it, Nate will bring it back up later, just so you remember. That's what's so great about you. You're under the radar. God, I wish y'all could hear what we talk about in the breaks.
They can in the hallway, according to us now.
Thanks to Chris. Thanks to Chris.
You know what we need to do, too? We need to find out what time you can take the tour to come through here while we're on the show. I've had a lot of people ask me that.
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
listeners.
tricky because they don't – I think there's a noon hour where they don't start any. But I'm not sure. So, I mean, there was one every once in a while we'll see them come through here. But I don't
They
know.
like to do it when they have practices, too. So give the fans a chance to think they may see a practice.
Up the road down the field?
Yeah.
Because they're not seeing them in the game?
That's foul.
I'm sorry.
That's foul.
Should have said that. That was
It ain't no
very
worse than school making on. That's
foul.
Go ahead, Jesse.
I have no idea what I was getting ready to say.
Talking about tight ends blocking, and he said that Ferguson was doing
the days of Jay Novacek, of Jason Witten,
gone.
Done.
Yeah.
They're done.
Was Witten was he a good blocking tight
Get
end?
in the way, man.
Yeah, like early in his career, absolutely. As he got older, he understood angles and like the thing that Jason really understood when he lost all of like the athleticism and the speed, he understood angles. He understood positioning. He understood like, listen, I ain't strong enough to deal with you right now, so I'm just gonna get in front of you and I'll just do something like this, and now you got to go around me. The ball's going outside, right? So he understood that part. But the days of the Jay Novaceks, of the algae crumplers.
We had a big brother, man, came from Miami that was out blocking tight end. Golly.
The Dan Campbells of the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Dan will block somebody right now.
Now.
I bet he could play right now.
Like they just that's
it's gone.
It's gone. Like at this point in time, you're just saying, hey, just get in front of him. Just
get in the way.
Just get in the way.
For 2 seconds.
Just don't olay him.
As big as Schoonmaker is, I watch him sometime. The few times they ask him to block, he stands like 6'5", 260 pounds. But I'm like, why do he look like he like 6 foot, 230 when he blocks? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he don't look as
do it.
Yeah,
6'5", 255.
Yeah, but
the one tight end that's still willing to block, and his history comes from like blocking that I see often. And still is a baller in the pass catching is George Kittle.
Yeah. Kittle get after
George Kittle. And then like you look at Laporta, I guess it's the Iowa thing, right? They both come from Iowa. They're going to run the football, so you're going to have to block if you're going to Iowa. Mm-hmm. But those are two guys that you can look at. Then they got the one big kid. He blocks really well from Georgia, the rookie.
Oh, for Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
He blocks nice?
Oh, he every bit of 6'8". That joker, he looked like a left tackle.
Right.
Is it harder for a tight end to learn to block?
Blocking is all about effort. Blocking is effort. There's some technique in it. I should say blocking is effort when you outside of the offensive lineman. I'm not going to disrespect offensive lineman. That is a sweet science of that. Yeah. But like receivers and tight ends, like you got to want to do it. You got to want to stick your nose in someone's face mask and block it.
All right, here's another question. Once you get to the pro level, and this is any position, can you learn a new skill set?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Yes, you can, because I could not pass block, nothing serious until I got to the NFL.
So what made you take that next step?
I wanted to continue to play in the NFL.
Let me tell you.
Want to.
Want to. When I first came in the league, I said, special teams, that ain't for me. What are you talking about? I was working security, and it was like, you want to play special teams? I said, and I came in when it was a 4-man wedge.
Right.
Point them out.
Yeah.
Which one you want me to run down here and go hit? And all of them had 90 numbers.
Need to improve my neighborhood.
I need to improve my neighborhood. Which one you want me to? This futon ain't cutting it for me. Yeah, and it was like, hey, I need you to go down there and knife right between those dudes at 330 pounds apiece. Say less. Yeah. It's either that
or security
and T-Mobile. I'm like, line them in Memphis. Oh, I'm gonna die out here before I go back to doing that.
Can you security on ninth floor? Security.
So that's a want to thing. Can you learn a skill position skill set like catching or
repetition? That's a rep. That's
or
a repetition.
identifying a hole. Vision things like that. So you can.
Yeah.
See the vision. Like say Jess may have natural vision, whereas a guy that ain't got it, he can learn a little bit, but he'll never be what Jess is because he's natural. But certain things, guys, they work. I can't think of the guy we let go to Jacksonville. He was a right
Alan
tackle.
Hearns?
No, it was a right tackle.
Chill out, Miss Hearns.
It was a right tackle.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Tall kid.
Oh, yeah.
My mom and his mom are actually friends.
Yeah.
What's his
he
name?
had to work. He worked and he worked and because
Parnell. Jeremy Parnell.
Yeah. His feet weren't nice, his hips weren't nice, but he worked himself right into $1 million contract.
Nice little contract.
Yes, sir.
I guess that's true. You don't hear about a lot of guys once they get to the league that they get better as they go. Right, there's a few like him. I think Ron Leary got better.
Miles Austin.
Miles.
I played with Miles Austin.
Not a ton of them. Usually, it's kind of like whatever you come in the league with that skill set. That's usually
the thing though that's amazing is when you
outside of that first or second year, you take that jump.
When you see a guy that's got gifted skills and grow mentally.
That's where
it's
at.
A beast.
It's when you can grow mentally.
When you understand the game.
When you understand the game, now what it does is you understand more about what your strengths are and how you can maximize them. And then the thing that you don't do well, you can kind of work on them to kind of close the gap a little bit. But the biggest part about it is, I don't care what skill sets you have. If you don't know what the hell's going on, it doesn't make a difference.
No.
You can. Oh, he's really fast. Yeah, he's going the wrong way. It don't make he's really well. If he doesn't understand if it's a running back and he's really fast, but he doesn't understand the blocking scheme in front of him and how this hole was supposed to open up or how he's supposed to set the block up to get to his destination, he'll just keep running in the back to Nate, and then he'd be smelling Nate farts.
And Emmett is smart. Emmett is smart. So I'm just gonna tell a quick story. Yeah, Emmett is smart. Yeah. But Emmett used to. He was in Florida. He cut back when he wanted to. We had this play called a stretch play, and where you had to take this thing to the outside eye, at least to the outside eye of the guard, the outside cheek of the guard, to the inside cheek of the right tackle. Emmett take 2-3 steps, and they just kept telling him, till we played the Giants, and he stepped back, and then Lawrence tell him.
Did he start stretching it out?
He started getting to the outside eye of the right tackle, inside eye of the tight end.
Payne is a great teacher. Payne is a great teacher.
He stepped back in there too quick, and Lawrence Taylor met him, boy. Wow.
And didn't have to tell him again, huh?
Nah.
That was it?
And then we changed the offense, too, because Jimmy said we're going to cater to him, not to him cater to us.
Oh, interesting stat of the day.
Yeah.
Weren't you looking someone up?
Who?
Marquise Bell?
Oh, yeah. I said that earlier, didn't he? He's number one.
Not on the air.
Oh, sorry. Number one on Pro Football Focus among linebackers.
For the year.
Yeah.
And he's a safety.
That ain't what Coach told me. As soon as the kid from Texas got hurt, he said, I found my linebacker.
Who started that? Because that's a trend now.
What?
Safety-type builds are now stepping
Buda Baker.
Buda Baker, yes.
Buda Baker.
Who was his DC when?
Was it
when they did
Mars?
That?
Was it Coach Mars?
Raheem?
Was it him with Buda?
I don't know.
Was Quinn using that when he was back with Seattle?
Yeah. He used it, but it just didn't come big to Buda.
Buda got it?
It's got to be. I wonder how that works. We're actually out of time, but
Darren Woodson really started it. But
yeah, I was going to say, because it's one thing to have that talent, be able to play that position, but then have a DC that believes in you enough to do it in a game.
Yeah,
when a game's on the line.
They called it. They used to call it we called it the star.
Yeah,
or the buck.
Because y'all had Big Roy.
No, I was after Roy.
I'm talking about the safety.
I was out there, but like this in that term, you would hear like, "Oh, this is the star backer," And I think the difference between like Darren came down into the box.
Right.
These jokers is in the box.
They're starting in the box.
In the box. Like Buda and them was like in the box.
Yeah, and it's not just a package; it's like the whole game you're playing.
This is it. This is the base defense.
Yeah. All right, fellas, great show. I will not be here tomorrow. Y'all have to do it without me.
Kurt's gonna be hosting.
I will be back Friday. Jesse, good seeing you. Nate, good seeing you.
If you can learn things on the football field,
Kurt,
you can learn
good
things
seeing
in here,
you.
baby.
Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air and turned off in the hallway. Nate, thanks for providing the entertainment in the breaks today. Jazz, thanks for keeping Chris company in the back. Josh, thanks for keeping us on the social and internet channels. We will be back tomorrow. Cowboys defense. Eagle. I'm going to miss y'all's breakdown of A.J. Brown.
You can actually listen.
The baddest man. I will listen. I have to listen to it on demand.
You're right.
I will.
You're right.
I'll listen.
We'll see.
All right. We'll be back tomorrow. They'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back Friday. See y'all then. Hanging with the boys.
We out.
Later.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!